Last night was an absolute mess. We had 3 DNPs in 3 of our slips, and then one of these slips ended up going 2-2. This first one here, I called Tyrese Haliburton might be out, so I grabbed Naismith on the over 11.5 points. Obviously didn't clear, but I still do think that is the correct pick. When players are injured or you think they're going to be out, always grab another player on that team. In this case, Nembhard was the one that popped off rather than Naismith. But if you saw later within the day when Tyrese Haliburton got ruled out, he did get bumped to 12.5. That is when you know you're capturing a full point of value. Definitely good in the long run. Obviously didn't work out last night. Now again, another DNP here on Romuto, only bone played. The thing with these MLB plays, which is very frustrating when I'm filming, is that I don't know who's going to be in the lineup. I have to show you guys the expected lineups, and if I show you confirmed lineups, then by the time you watch the video, the players are going to be off the board because the games would already have started. So I have to show you sort of later games and hope that these guys are actually in the lineups with no DNPs. In this case, we got a DNP on Romuto, and we also got a DNP on Moreno over here in the MLB. It wouldn't have changed anything because we still missed on this darts play here. He ended up going over that 2.5, 180s thrown. But honestly, I'm not exactly sure what to do with these MLB plays anymore because it's just been so many DNPs, and just generally the plays I'm putting on YouTube are getting bumped before the video is even going up sometimes. So it's very annoying for me. I know it's annoying for you guys. I don't know exactly the solution. I try to put the best value picks out, but those are going to get bumped. That's just unfortunately how it is. When you're playing good picks, they're going to get bumped. So if you do have your notifications on, it does help. As for this WNBA stack, you can see went in the opposite direction. Arika absolutely popped off, dropped 40 points. And McCowan ended up going under her points prop. So that's another game to add to the tally where this relationship did happen. I do think Dallas is playing again tonight, but I'm not going to be going with the stack tonight. I'm going to stick with NBA and MLB. Other than that, in the slip, the MLB Cardinal stack here did hit here in the correct direction. And then the last slip, honestly, I did not think we were going to lose this one. I thought it was going to be a DNP because right here you can see the Tampa Bay player did push. So technically that's supposed to be a void. And since we only have KC players left, I thought we were going to get refunded on the slip. I don't know when Prizepicks changed the rules, but you can't have players from the same team within a single entry. And technically we did in this specific slip. So I'm really surprised they counted this as a loss. I would have thought they gave that as a refund, but even I just learned something new last night, so I won't be using this strategy anymore. But we'll get to the board. I have a mix of NBA and MLB. So let's start with the NBA picks. First off, we're going to go over this popular tab, and I'm liking what you guys are liking. I'm liking Derek Lively on the over 17.5 points, rebounds, assists, and I'm liking Gafford on his over 14.5 points plus rebounds. I'm not liking his points prop, but his points plus rebound is nice at 14.5. What I will do, and you guys probably have not thought of, is just go over to the assist prop and also tack on Luka Doncic onto this on his 9 assists. This is a great prop. I'm going to show you the juice on all these players in a second. The reason I'm liking this, honestly, Gafford and Lively have both playing very well. Obviously, these guys are replacements for each other, so when one's on the court, the other one is off the court. So it makes sense to grab Doncic assists. Imagine he gets like 2 assists to Lively, another 2 assists to Gafford, and whatever. He fills his assist prop with the rest of the players on the team. There's a lot of opportunity for assists for Doncic when both these guys are clearing their points, rebounds, or points, rebounds, assists in this specific case. On top of that, if Lively is scoring and getting assisted by Doncic in a shift, well, then maybe the next shift, Gafford is going to go replace him, and then Doncic could still be assisting Gafford because Doncic is going to play with both of these guys, but these guys are not going to play with each other, which is normally why I don't like taking the over because technically Lively is going to be bleeding into Gafford's minutes, but in this case, they're both playing around 22 to 27 minutes each per game. They're putting in good minutes, and when they're on the court, they are putting in the work. As you can see by the recent game logs, I mean, Gafford's 5 out of 5 in the last 5. That's not exactly why I'm taking him. I'm taking him more because of the juice. But the juice knows that he's gone 5 out of 5 in the last 5. So that is probably why he's juiced towards the over. And then you're going to go see Derek Lively. Similar concept here. Could this in the past 4 out of 5. Now, Lively actually is getting more minutes than Gafford, but Gafford still be able to get this even on 21, 22 minutes. And of course, Lively is absolutely clearing this line because he's putting in like 25 plus minutes per game. And I expect him to get that again tonight for how well he's been playing. But as always, I would not take these plays if the juice was not in their favor. If we start with Derek Lively at 17.5 points on assists on Bet365, you can see right here, minus 125 juice towards the over. Of course, more likely to go over than under, at least according to their odds. And if we go over to points plus rebounds to see Gafford, this is also a good prop, minus 130. So I think this could get bumped to 15. Hopefully it doesn't, and hopefully you guys could get this slipping before it gets bumped to 15.0. But I would not really take it at 15. I don't like these half points of bumps. At 14.5, it's a great play, minus 130 juice towards the over. And the reason I don't like his points prop is he actually does have juice towards the under here at minus 120. So I go with the points prop that has juice towards the under when you can go and grab the points plus rebounds, which I think is the better prop either way on the over, which does have juice towards the over on the sports books. Then lastly, for Doncic, we're going to like this line because he's set at 9.5 on the sports book. You can see juice towards his under, which means his under 9.5 is more likely to occur. We're getting him at 9 assists on Prizepicks. So if his 9 exactly does occur, at least we're pushing it rather than losing it. So of course, very good value there too. So all 3 players have good juice towards their respective overs. And the main reason I grabbed Doncic in this entry is because both of these guys are going to have their points heavily assisted. Since we're taking Derek Lively's PRA, of course, more of this is going to be filled from the rebounds and assists. About maybe half of these are going to come from points. He's averaging more points nowadays, but in reality, his averages are around 8 points per game. So, but that's still a potential 4 assists for Doncic because if we go over to Derek Lively, you're going to see this guy basically does not score unless he's getting assisted. 89.1% of his field goals made are going to be coming from assists. And same exact concept for Gafford here. 84.3% of his field goals made are assisted. So you can see why it makes sense to throw Doncic in here. If these guys are getting their points, it's likely Doncic is going over his assist prop. You can see this in the recent games too. Doncic has cleared this line in the past 4 to 5 games. In these specific games, Lively and Gafford have also cleared their lines. So we're going for that correlation again tonight to grab the triple stack on the overs. Now, one thing to mention is I'm going for Derek Lively's PRA because that one has juice towards the overs. Similar to Gafford, the value is on these kind of alternative props on the points, rebounds, assists, or the points, rebounds, because Derek Lively is set at 8.5 tonight. Normally he's set at 7.5. At 8.5, I think it's too high. And if we go and check the sportsbooks juice again, we're going to see Derek Lively here. 8.5 does have juice towards the under. You want to be on his PRA, which has juice towards the over. So same concept we did with Lively. Obviously, points is very correlated with points, rebounds, assists, so it's okay to take this prop within the entry. We're going to MLB. I just want to show you another shout within the NBA because I'm not going to be throwing this in the entry, but if you guys are liking it, you could go and make it with another entry. Mike Conley on his under 5.5 assists, and I would stack that up with Rudy Gobert on his under 12.5 points. Again, I'll show you Rudy Gobert's points from assists. It's quite a bit. He has 75% of his field goals made assisted. And the main reason I'm liking this is the juice is very nice for us. See Rudy Gobert, juice towards the under at -125. And the same thing for Mike Conley on his assists, juice towards the under at -120. And I saw higher juice on some other sports books too. So that's another good stack to take. The reason I'm not taking in this specific entry, because it doesn't really make sense to grab all overs on Dallas players and then grab unders on their opponent. Why? Because if these guys are clearing the overs, it's probably a higher paced game. It might be a tighter game, even pushing to OT. Things like this are going to have an effect on whether or not these guys are going to go over their props. So if Dallas is all going over, it's more likely that the Minnesota players are also going over their props. That's why I wouldn't throw this in the same entry. I'll play these guys in a different entry that's completely unrelated to these Dallas players here. When you're grabbing same game stacks, you want to be in the same direction. So in this case, you would go over, but as I just showed you, that's not the play. You want to be under on both Conley and Gobert. So throw that into a different entry if you guys are into that one. Now let's go over to the MLB. And there's only one game that's late tonight, and hopefully these guys are going to be playing tonight and no DNPs. We're going to go over to the Chicago Cubs game, and we're going to be taking two players here. The first one's going to be Suzuki on his over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. And the second play is Cody on his over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Now, neither of these guys actually have juice towards the over or under, but the reason I'm going over is because that allows me to take the opponent pitcher on his under strikeouts. And the reason I like to take that, obviously, is because if these guys are going over their hits, runs, RBIs, they're probably not getting struck out, and they're more likely to be looping through batters, which means the opponent pitcher would not be doing well. Tonight, they're up against Sonny Gray, and the problem with this is I was actually going to show you guys the under 6.5 pitcher strikeouts in this video, but of course, he got bumped as I was filming. Like I said, it's almost impossible to get these picks out without bumps. So that's 6 strikeouts. Obviously, I don't like that anymore. Like I said, every half point is going to count, but what I could do is go over to MLB Live and grab his under 3.5 first 3 inning pitcher strikeouts. Both these guys are in the first 3 batters. I believe Suzuki was second when I checked, and Cody is expected to be batting third. It's actually possible that both of them bat twice within the first 3 innings. So obviously, if these guys are clearing their lines, it's less likely that Sonny Gray is getting those strikeouts within the first 3 innings. So overall, that's going to be the slip. We got one push line on Doncic, triple stack in Dallas, and then a same game stack here in the Cubs versus the Cardinals. Let's try to cash this one, 6 flex for 25x.